Stop getting distracted. Distractions are our biggest energy drain. They pull us away from our motivation, they make us feel overwhelmed, and they prevent us from succeeding in everything that we attempt in our lives. Stay tuned, and we're going to talk about 5 things that you can do to end distractions, eliminate them from your life, stay laser focused, and accomplish your goals. Number 1, good self-care. Everything starts with how we take good care of ourselves. And that includes physical care, getting good sleep, good nutrition, and starting our day from a place of intention and purpose. It sounds a little fluffy and maybe like one more thing you got to do, but I have to tell you that if you are going to be productive throughout the day, you've got to prime the pump. And that means preparing your brain for every activity that you're going to engage in throughout the day. We all know that if we've had a poor night's sleep, we're more irritable, we're less creative, we're more likely to feel anxious and overwhelmed. So making sure that you start with a solid night's sleep, making sure that you're getting good nutrition. And the other component of good self-care is to make sure that our mind and our thoughts are aligned with what our intention is for the day. I talked about this in another video on negative self-talk. We know that if we have a long running script of negative energy, pessimistic thoughts in the back of our mind, it is going to be the biggest distraction to staying focused on what we want to accomplish. So if you need some more support in managing that negative self-talk, you can check out this video. And to help you on your self-care journey, I put a link below to my free holistic self-care guide to help give you some information and some strategies to take better care of yourself overall. Number 2, stay laser focused on your goal for the day. Remaining laser focused is not that simple. We have to train our brain to become linear thinkers, staying focused on the task at hand. And that comes from the things that we are saying to ourselves. We're back to that self-conversation that we talk about a lot. Because if what you were telling yourself is, this is so important and I'm doing it, but oh wait, there's something that just popped up that I need to see what's happening here. Or there's an activity going on over here and let me pay attention. It's sort of like, oh, and a squirrel. We tend to get so easily distracted, and today particularly with social media and so much digital information coming at us, it's easy to get pulled off. You know how easy it is to keep scrolling through, and before you realize it, you're stuck in that rabbit hole, clicking on a link that took you to another link, and before you know it, an hour, 2 hours has passed, and you've lost focus on the things that you were trying to accomplish. Or we might become distracted by the thoughts in our head, allowing ourselves to let worry interfere with the things that we're trying to accomplish, or becoming pulled into a variety of different directions, letting our thoughts bounce all around. And sometimes we also get pulled away from the important things that we're doing because other opportunities are presented to us. The challenge and the trick is to say, if this is my goal and my vision of what I'm trying to accomplish, that even if this great opportunity comes up over here, but it's not in alignment with what I'm trying to achieve, I'm going to pass on that. This is one of the most important strategies that successful business owners harness. They cannot be moved off of dead center from what they're trying to achieve, even if it means passing over great opportunities. So look at yourself in your own life, whether it's in your personal life or your business. What are you doing that distracts you away from achieving your goal? Is it important? Is it in alignment with what you're trying to achieve? And if it's not, you need to say, I pass. Laser focus means going deep. One of the biggest drains on our energy is to stay up here in that 30,000 foot view of our lives, where it's, oh, and I need to do this, and I want to do a little bit of this, and I need to do this. And before you know it, you've done none of those things because you've lost your focus. So again, begin the day with a laser sharp focus on the goals that you want to achieve, and you'll find that you'll have much more energy to accomplish those goals. Number 3, stop multitasking. Our brains are not designed to multitask. What happens is we end up bogging down the system. It's like a computer where you've got several programs running in the background. Nothing runs efficiently. Our brain is that same kind of a machine. It can do a task, and of course, we can shift our focus over to something else, but every time we do that, the brain becomes less efficient. So practice staying focused on one particular task. Go deep and don't allow yourself to move on to another task until that task is complete. And ladies, I'm talking to you. We do this more often than men. And we sometimes think that it's a wonderful thing. Like, well, the guys can only focus on one thing at a time, and look at us, we're doing multiple things. But there's a cost for doing that. It shouldn't be some badge of honor that we hang on our sleeve. It should be something that we say to ourselves, this is an energy drain bogging me down from doing the important things that I want to accomplish. So stop multitasking. Number 4, create some visual cue about what you want to accomplish in the big picture. Now this can come in the form of a vision board where you put down your goals, your dreams, your expectations, your short-term, your long-term goals. Why a vision board or visual cues are so important is because the brain processes information differently from a visual perspective than it does cognitively. So if we put words to something and say, I have a dream of running my own business. But visually, we put something out there on a board or as a reminder on our computer that what we're doing is leading us towards that goal of owning our own business. And we can visually see it. And the cue allows the brain to process that. We are more likely to be successful. And number 5 is to create a to-do list and then wad it up and throw it away. I hate to-do lists. Now, I don't know if you love them, and if you do, you can find a way to make them work for you. But for me, a to-do list is one more way to beat up on myself, to shame myself into the things that I didn't accomplish. You know what I'm talking about. You make that list, and it's usually a ridiculous list, right? We never put things on our to-do list like 1 or 2 things, because why? Because if we looked at our to-do list with only 2 things on there, we would think, wow, I'm a pretty pathetic, underachieving, unmotivated person, right? This is all that I have to do is these 2 things. So instead, we start doing like a brain dump in our to-do list. And it becomes like that running list of 5, 6, 7, 8,000 things, and we know we're never going to accomplish that. The other reason that to-do list is problematic is we tend to do the things that we really feel competent, comfortable, and we know is the easy win. Because then we get reinforced, neurotransmitters in the brain, particularly dopamine, is released, and we feel really energized and good about ourselves. But by the time we work down to the big game-changing items on the list, the things that are going to move the needle in your business or in your life or make things better for you for the day are the things that we tend to move over to the side and then we never get to. Or we just keep moving it over to the next to-do list as the days go by. And if you're like most people, we tend to underestimate the amount of time it's going to take to get through that to-do list. And then again, we begin to feel overwhelmed when we can't accomplish everything that's on that list. Instead, if we move away from a to-do list, which is task-driven, and more to a strategy-focused process, where we are focusing on what we want to accomplish, and then giving ourselves time to do that. We know the steps, we know the process that we have to use to get to that place, but it allows for more creativity. Because on any given day, our energy ebbs and flows, our creativity ebbs and flows. And so to hold yourself to a specific time of day, like I must do this thing, which is maybe something that you have to really think about and digest and innovate and be creative about, but you're not in that kind of frame of mind. And the more that the time passes, the more you're going to feel like a failure. When we visualize what we're trying to accomplish and we apply strategies that are specific and unique to us, we're more likely to succeed. So for example, there are some people who are very creative and have high energy really early in the morning. These are those early risers who gets up before anybody else is there, and maybe for an hour they feel fully motivated, energized. This is the time of day that they should be focusing on the difficult tasks that they have to accomplish to reach that goal. Because by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when the crash comes, they're more likely to be able to do those smaller tasks that don't take a lot of brain energy, and they can tick them off very quickly. So stay focused, visually on your goals, your dreams, what you want to accomplish, and then put those strategies in place along with some time constraints. This isn't kind of that open-ended, you get to do this whenever you feel like it, because you'll never accomplish anything that way. But put some time constraints around it, but around the entire project and not around the individual tasks. And you'll find that you'll be more motivated and more successful in achieving those goals in the end. If you have any particular strategies or techniques on how you don't allow distractions to distract you, please consider sharing it with the rest of us. Pop it in the comment section below. And if you found any of this information that I've shared with you helpful, please consider sharing it with a friend and give it a like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell, and we'll notify you every time we post another video here every Friday. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you in the next one.